So we're now going to have a look at pelvic corrections. And what we're looking at really when we're looking for a good pelvic correction is the relationship between the sacrum bone in the middle here, the right ilium and the left ilium. What should happen when these bones are moving and moving well and are controlled well is that when you've got the leg loaded, so if you're standing on both feet or if you're standing on the right foot, the ilium should be rotated backwards relative to the sacrum. Okay? But that doesn't always happen, and something I see a lot in clinic, particularly in people with knee pain or back pain or things like that, is that they have lost control of this sacroiliac joint. And what happens then is that as they take their weight onto their right foot, say, the ilium actually rotates forward relative to the sacrum. Now that puts a fair amount of strain on the ligaments down here. The muscles then compensate and it causes problems. So what we're trying to do when we're checking whether the pelvis needs correcting is saying, well, what happens if I just provide a little bit of compression through that sacroiliac joint and stop it from unlocking and rotating in a poorly controlled way. So that's what I'm going to show you on Abby now, is just how to correct a pelvis to see if we can control unlocking and see if that makes a difference to her task or to her pain. So I'm just going to move the fan out of the way. Okay, good lad. Right. So if you come here for me, lovely, thank you very much. So, with Abby, again, she doesn't particularly have an issue with unlocking, but if she did, let's do a one-leg stand, Abby. So I'm going to just get you to lift your left knee for me. So, that's it. So I'm going to imagine and relax down, so flow foot down, that's it. So I'm going to pretend, for the sake of the video really, that Abby unlocks her right sacroiliac joint when she loads her right leg and stands on her right foot. So go again. And I'm just going to pretend that that's rotating forward. And that's not an optimal movement for a one-leg stand. Good, foot down, thank you, yes. Okay? This is not true. Abby is practically perfect in everywhere as a young teacher. However, for the purposes of this video, that sacroiliac joint unlocks. So what I'm going to do to prevent that is I'm just going to take hold of the iliac crest, and I'm going to give her a little bit of a lift just to offload her, and then I'm going to give her a bit of a hug. So I'm really just giving a gentle squeeze. You feel that gentle squeeze there out? Gentle squeeze to the sacroiliac joints, just to see if we can give them a little bit of extra force closure. So I'm basically trying to be Abby's muscles and ligaments or reinforce them temporarily. And from there, I just want you, Abs, can you just lift your left foot again? Beautiful, and you can see that this time she doesn't rotate forwards. Good. And then foot down. Lovely. And then if I take my hands away, give yourself a wiggle. And now the same thing again, so if she lifts her left knee again, you see how terribly she unlocks for the camera as she does that. Beautiful. So foot down. So again, it's just slightly lift and offload the pelvis, and then just give it a bit of a hug, just to provide a bit of extra force closure to the sacroiliac joints, and that's how you correct the pelvis.